Join as we learn Chumash for Wednesday, Parshas Bamidbar. As we previously mentioned, the only tribe that was not counted in the previous census were the Levites. Now God tells us about the census of the Levites. And these are the children, the descendants of Aaron and Moshe, on the day that God spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. Rashi, he only mentions, if you look, he says these are the descendants of Aaron and Moshe, but we don't find the descendants of Moshe. Why does he call them then the descendants of Moshe as well? V'nikru told us Moshe, and they're still called the descendants of Moshe, teaching us an important principle. Lafisha limdan Torah, because Moshe was the one that taught them the Torah. Melamed, shekola melamed, it's ben chaveri Torah, malav akasav kitli yilodei. This teaches us that any person who teaches his friend's child, any person who teaches someone Torah, it's as if he gave him birth, as if they gave birth to him. So even though they were the sons of Aaron, they were also the sons of Moshe, because Moshe was the one that taught them Torah. Why does it say on that day? Because when did they become Moshe's children was on the very fact that he taught them what God taught him. Verse 2. These are the names of the sons of Aaron. Habchoir, the firstborn, was Nadav, Avihu, Elazar, and Isamar. These are the names of Aaron, the sons of the Kohanim. Hameshuchim, who were anointed, Asher Mila Yadam Lachain, who they were then designated that they should be the ones to serve in the Holy Temple as Kohanim. Verse 4, Vayomas Nadav Avihu Lefnei Hashem. Unfortunately, Nadav and Avihu died before God. Because they brought an unauthorized fire when they were not allowed to in an uncalled for time before God. This happened Bamidbar Sinai in the Sinai desert. They also did not have any children. Therefore, the only ones that were left, Elazar and Isamar, they served as priests during their father Aaron's lifetime. Rashi, Al Pnei Aaron, what does it mean, Al Pnei Aaron? Meaning these children, Bechayev, in the life of Aaron, they were anointed to be Kohanim as well. An interesting note over here, if you notice, it says that they didn't have children. There are some commentaries that learn from here as well, that one of the reasons why Nadav and Avihu passed was as well because they didn't get married and they didn't have children. Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe Leimer, verse 5. And God spoke to Moshe saying, Hakre v'smate Levi, bring forth the tribe of Levi, and you will present them before Aaron the Kohen, Aaron the priest, and that they may serve him. Verse 6, what does it mean they're going to serve him? Aren't they serving God? Mao Ashedus, what is this serving? Vashamru was Mishmartai, that they will have to protect and they will have to guard the tent of gathering, which means the tabernacle. Because really, who's the one that has to protect the tabernacle? It was also placed on Aaron, Shalik Rav Zar. They have to make sure that no stranger or person who is a non-Kohen or Levite should enter the holy temple. As we're going to learn later on in chapter 18. God tells Aaron, you and your children are going to be the ones responsible to make sure that nobody sins by entering into the holy temple unlawfully. And these Levites, Messianites, are helping make sure that nobody, they were the ones, the guards, to make sure nobody enters. This is the service that they are doing for Aaron. Verse 7. What are they going to be doing? And the Torah now explains as follows what their job will be. They must help keep this charge. And as well the entire community. Before the tent, in front of the tent of meeting, that they are going to perform the service in the tabernacle, keeping it holy and making sure that no stranger goes in. Verse 7. Kol minui. What is the word mishmartai, their job? Meaning that every time somebody is appointed to a certain job, whenever you appoint somebody to do something and they have they're commissioned to do a X job, whatever it may be, kori mishmeres, you would call that mishmeres, like their job, their watch. We find this throughout the verses, and any time in the pasuk in the Chumash. So too we find the Balashna Mishnah, and we find it in the Mishnah of the Talmud. The sages say Biksan v'Seresh, that the two guards of Achashverosh, Their job was, at that time say, isn't my job and your job the same? We see the word mishmeres, mishmartacha, is when one is given a task or a job to be in charge of something. We also find mishmeres kuna levia, that the Levites and the Kohanim had specific times and shifts that they would be in charge and work in the Holy Temple, and it was called a mishmeres. Verse 8, V'shamru es kol klei ayil mayit. Their job will be that they have to keep charge and giving everything that's concerning all the different vessels that were in the tabernacle. That's mishmeres b'nei Yisrael, as well as they have to make sure that on behalf and to do all the work on behalf of the Israelites. Lavi desavedes hamishkan, to perform the service in the holy temple. Rashi, that's mishmeres b'nei Yisrael, meaning to do the job and everything else that was meant to be done. Kulan hayiskuken l'tzarcha mishkan. Technically, everybody had to be the ones to work in the Holy Temple, the Tzarchei Hamikdash. The Levites take the charge, are responsible for what the Jewish people technically had to do. Therefore, they get paid for it, which is by getting the tithe. As it says later on in chapter 18, we learn, this is the reward, being that they're taking your job. It means technically every Israelite, every Jew had a responsibility to serve in the Holy Temple. But because of the sin of the golden calf, the firstborn weren't allowed, and so on. So who's the one that's taking the responsibility? Who are we hiring in our charge? Who are our messengers? Are the Levites. So too, therefore, they get the tithe as a reward of being our messengers. This is also a spiritual connotation, which tells us that we have the charge that God gives us, that we have to technically serve the Holy Temple, make a Holy Temple, and being that now we don't have a Holy Temple, but also our bodies are a sanctuary, our tabernacle, and we are the Levites to make sure to carry out that service of being connected to God. Verse 9, and you'll give the Levites over to Aaron and his sons. Nesunim heimaloi. They are given to him, me'es b'nei Yisrael, from amongst the Israelites. Why the double terminology, nesunim, given over? Rashi says, le'ezra, to help him, in the items that we mentioned previously about the Holy Temple, me'es b'nei Yisrael, from the Jewish people, kimoi, for example, mitoich b'nei Yisrael, from amongst the rest of the Jewish people, the Levites are the ones, from all the Israelites, the Levites were chosen for this specific job, which is to serve in the Holy Temple, bigzeides hamakim, by decree of God, the whom, nesanim loy, and they are now given to Aaron as his help. Shnemer, as it says, I've given the Levites, So they were taken, nesunim, they were given and taken from God, separate from everybody else, and given to Aaron to be of assistance. Verse 10, and Aaron and his sons will then, you will then direct them. They have to guard their priesthood. Even though they have the Levites helping them out, and they have the Levites making sure that no stranger walks into the Holy Temple, still in all, their job is that when it comes to a Kohen job, that a Levite is not allowed to do a job of a Kohen. And therefore, any stranger, whether it's a Kohen or a Levite, who approaches to do a job which is not theirs, Yumas is liable, will be put to death by an act of God. Verse 10, means, in this case, doesn't mean that they're counting, but over here it means appointing. The word pakad can mean to count, and the word pakad can also mean to appoint, and in this case it means to appoint. They will protect the priesthood, which is the jobs that only a Kohen can do. For example, Kabbalas Damim, receiving the blood and sprinkling it on the altar after a sacrifice is slaughtered, Uzrika, and sprinkling it, Ukatara, and bringing it up on the altar, the avodas hamasudis l'kehanim, or any other work which is specifically given to the Kohen and not to anyone else. Verse 11, and God spoke to Moshe, saying, and I have taken the Levites from amongst all the other Israelites. I have taken them instead in the place of the firstborn of all the other Israelites, from all the other Jews, and therefore the Levites will be mine. What does it mean? Tacha, I took them. Rashi, verse 12. Va'ani, and I, mehechon. Well, you want to know why the Levites have this special uniqueness? Why did they get it that they're different than all the other Jews? I have chosen the Levites that the Jewish people should pay them and pay them the reward by giving them the tithes, and they should serve me instead of the firstborn. And this is because because the firstborn, really it was supposed to be the firstborn. Now that the firstborn are not doing it, I took them. What happened with the firstborn? And I took them instead of the firstborn. Because technically, originally, it was supposed to be that the firstborn was supposed to serve the holy. It was supposed to be the designated ones to serve in the holy temple for the Jewish people. However, when they sinned with the golden calf, the firstborn took part in the golden calf, and the only ones that did not take part of it were the Levites. They now became unfit to serve in the holy temple. Nifsalu, they became unfit to serve in the holy temple. Valavim, the Levites, of the Avodah Zarah, they did not serve any idolatry. Nifchuru tachtei, were chosen in their stead, because they had to be on that extra level of holiness to be able to serve in the holy temple. Verse 13. Verse 13. Kili kol b'cher, because technically all firstborn are mine. On the day that I killed the firstborn, be'eretz Mitzrayim in Egypt, hikdashti li, I sanctified the firstborn to me. Kol b'cher b'Yisrael, every firstborn amongst the Jewish people. May Adam and Behema, from both man and the beast. Li yiyu, they should be for me, are mine. Ani Hashem, I am God. This concludes the fourth Torah reading of Parshas Bamidbar.